Okay, so I'm going to do a quick playthrough video for Blood Royals by the Spiel Press. Here's a little shot of the cover. Nice way to start out this video. I'm just going to read through, play through, it's not super pretty, but you should get the idea. So for Blood Royals, it's 2 players, exactly 2 players. It's a 2-player area control action selection game. You just need the rules. Well, for the print and play, you just need the rules, the single page printed twice, once for each player, and 5 dice. These are my fancy Twin Stars dice. So, and they're also purple to match the Blood Royals cover. Okay, so, and you need a writing utensil. Not utensil, utensil. I suggest these awesome Sharpie pens. We'll see how awesome it is as we go. Okay, so in this game, the king is dying. You are Ulthar. Your opponent is the other king, which is not Ulthar, but for the print and play, it's just one sheet. You each will play on your own sheet. So I'm Ulthar. This one is not Ulthar. Updated. Okay. So what you're going to do is there's 25 rounds in the timeline until the king dies. Could happen. It could end earlier than that, but it usually will go for the 25 rounds. A round is made up of 2 phases. One where you plan, which is where I'm going to choose a die face, cover it, simultaneously reveal. That's my action for the turn. The actions are 1. First of all, I should mention that the lower the action, the player that reveals a lower action number goes first. That's important because there's a little bit of a race to get some of these things that only one player can get. So roll 1 is roll 1 die, use any face except for the bottom. So this, I would use a 1, 2, 3, or 4, or a 5. When you use something, you're going to gain supporters in that number. So if it was the 1, I would gain a supporter in the 1. You work from the top down. If I chose a 2, it's roll 2 dice, use both. I would get a 2 and a 4. I'd fill in the 2, I'd fill in the 4. 3 is roll 3 dice. I use all, but only one of duplicates. And here I rolled 2 1s, which means I only get 1. The opponent gets the other duplicate. I just lost my pen. So, in that case, I get a 1 and a 5, and my good friend, not Ulthar, gets a 1 on my turn, which kind of stinks. But you have some flexibility here. Because I have choice. I'm sorry. I don't have choice because I have better odds to get something that I'm looking for. 4. Roll 4 dice, use 2. I choose which 2, and my opponent gets the other 2. So here I could go for 2 6s, 2 3s, or a 3 and a 6, and my opponent's going to get a 3 and a 6, 2 6s, or 2 3s. I have choice here. This is great because there are certain times where I want to get doubles. Doubles right here, if I chose the 2 6s, will just get me 2 dots filled. But if I was filled up to this dot here, 2 6s would allow me to fill those double dots. The double dots are only able to be filled if you have the 2 numbers on the same roll. So you'll see that you'll get hung up around the double dots and you need to use these higher rolls to get them, or the 6, which we'll talk about later. Okay, so 5. Roll 5 dice. I can use 1 of each number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was just playing Yahtzee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. I can use 1 of each number, which is a great roll for this because I get almost 1 of everything. Your opponent gets 1 of each number that's not rolled. So my opponent would get a 6, which is also great for this roll because I'm only giving up 1 digit for my opponent. But you can also, it's 1 of each number rolled or all of 1 number. So if I were to roll, for example, this, I could get 1, 2, 3, or I can get 3 1s. No matter what I choose, my opponent gets 4, 5, 6. They get every number not rolled. So 3 1s in one roll is really good. It's a great way to try to get those doubles and some number flexibility for things that you're just really trying hard to get. Okay, so the number 6, do not roll. So I reveal a 6. I don't roll. I gain an adjustment. So it's a +1 or -1. I add it to the timeline track. So I add here just a cross. So that means in these 5 rounds, I'm going to have an adjustment. So I don't have to declare whether I'm getting plus or minus. I just declare that I'm getting an adjustment. And it's within these 5 rounds, any round, I get an adjustment. So I can change this to a 4 or a 6, or I can change this to a 2 or a 3. Helps for flexibility, but you don't roll that round. Those are the actions. So simultaneously, me and my opponent are going to choose an action, reveal. The player with the lower action is going to go first. They're going to do their actions. They're going to take, for example, they roll the 3 dice, and if they were to have gotten doubles, let's say it was that, they get theirs, and then I get mine, because there are some timing things that you'll want to watch out for. So on this, they'd fill in their 3 and 6. And if they were to get to a threshold, which is any of these lines here, it lets them fill something out on the board. So we'll talk about that in a second. So they would take theirs, fill in their dots, fill in their board, then I would take mine. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you get the dice. So I fill in some dots, my 3 and my 6. If you ever get to a line, which is, for example, any of these lines, what that means is if you've reached the threshold of supporters, that you can go mark them on the map. So I fill in these 3 2s, and I get to that line. I can fill in any 2 on the map. So what I do is just circle that 2. What that means is I've started to secure some supporters in that area. Now, my opponent can also circle the same 2. But what happens is when one person fills an entire area, so I circle 2, 2, 5, 5, 6, before my opponent circles 2, 2, 5, 5, 6, I claim this area and put my initials in here. My opponent then has to cross this area out, and they cannot get it. So I've gotten that area before them. There's a little bit of a race to it. I'm going to get points for that in the end. They're not. There is a little consolation prize. Some of the supporters kind of stick with the opponent, so they can take any one of these numbers and move them to an adjacent location. So what happens here is the 5s actually can't move. The 6 can move here, and the 2s can't move. So if you have 5s, you might not want to put them here, because this is an area where the 5s can't migrate to another location. If you're here, for example, with 1, 2, 5, 6, the 1 can move here, the 2 can move here, the 5 or 6 can move here, everything can move. But this is a little bit more of an area where people aren't going to migrate from. But this area is between 2 rivers, which is good for the farmer, which you'll see later. And while the bridges aren't here on this map, on other maps, the bridges might be going to that location. So there's a whole bunch of that in there. So you're going to decide when you get to your 2s whether you want this one or this one or this one. You're just going to circle a 2. These ones are only 3 before somebody claims location, so they're quick, and it's a point at the end of the game. So you might choose this one as well. The downside of this one is it's not connected to bridges or waters, which are bonus points later. So it's quick point, but it stops there at a single point. It doesn't grow any further than that. End of the game points, since we're talking about it. 1 victory point per location held. I should tell you how you get to the end of the game, but for now I'll just talk about the points because we're doing it. Location held means I got this location before you, put my initials there, I get a point for it. 1 victory point per bridge if you're holding both sides. So this bridge right here, if I have this and this, I get a point for each of them and a point for the bridge. If I only have one of them, if we each only have one of them, nobody scores that bridge. So bridges are extra bonus points. 1 victory point per major supporter. If I get down to this cross before you do, I put my initials here and I've gained the monk. That's an extra point at the end of the game. You can't gain the monk. Only one person can gain each of these. Then you also get their ability. Gain 2 adjustments. Mark them in the timeline. So I just mark them down here. I get 2 adjustments. They all have different abilities. You get the point for getting to them first, and you get the bonus ability. And the one other way to get points is, well, there's 2 actually. The farmer, mark a river. So you're just going to, put an X in it or your initials. Control of any side earns 1 point. So if you mark this river, and I have both of these, it gets me a point, or all 3 of these, it gets me a point. Or whoever has control gets the point. But if you mark the river, just controlling it gets a point. This river, control is just that single one, will get a point, but this one has 2. So this is a really easy river to gain some control on, but your opponent may have some as well. So that's one way to get some points. The last one is the noble. Build a bridge in an unbuilt location. On this map, I can build a bridge from here to here. I can build a bridge from here to here. Build a bridge from here to here. It will gain extra points if you hold those areas. So how does the game end? We're going to go down. Each round, we're going to mark in the timeline what our die roll was, or our action was. So I chose a 3. I'm going to mark a little 3 in there. We're going to mark them all the way down until the end. If we get to the end, before filling the map and filling out all this, the game ends. The king dies. The person with the most points wins. If we fill in all the map and gain all the major supporters before we get to here, the game ends as well, and the person with the most points wins. The tiebreaker is the person who used the least amount, person who had the least amount of adjustments, whether you used them or not. The last thing to mention is if we both choose the same action, 3 and 3, for example, we mark them down here. It's a tie, nothing happens. So you prevent your opponent from using their actions if you can predict what they're doing and you're ahead in the game, for example. So that's pretty much it. That's how you play. So I'm going to just go through it and play. Let's see if I can do this. So I can just get 2 of them going at once so I can show you both players. It's going to be a little weird because I know what myself is going to play. But maybe I'll do random on one hand and choose on the other. And so I have Ulthar versus not Ulthar. Here we go. Round 1. Let's see. So I'm going to open with a 2 because a 2 just gets me anything and I can use anything at this point. And not Ulthar is going to open with a 4. So there we go. So the 2 would go first. We both, this is called the planning phase. We write down what we chose and then we act. So for the 2, I'm going to roll 2 dice and I get both. Double 4s. So I mark them down. 4, 4. I didn't get to a threshold. That's all that happens. So Ulthar played a 4 in his opening round, and it means I'm getting some dice. 1, 1, 2, 5. So if he looks at me, I'm kind of working towards 4, and I'm going to get something on the board before him. Ones have a really quick major supporter, so it's a good one to go for early. And with these choices, maybe the 4 wasn't such a bad idea. So he's going to go 1, 1. Doesn't get to a threshold. I get the 2 and the 5. I think I said 2, 4 earlier, but I meant 2, 5. I get the 2 and the 5. Boom. If I were to get to a line, I would fill in mine. So there we go. Round 1 is done. Round 2. I want that 4 to get there, but I have no threat here. I'm going to go for a 5 and try for something big. And Ulthar, he reveals his, and I just did it randomly. You don't do that in the game, but I'm doing that just to make this somewhat fair. He got a 2, 2, and a 5. Ulthar's going first. He gets a 2 and a 4. Doesn't help him get to a threshold, but gets some numbers on the board. I have a 5. Let's do this. So here's how 5 works again. 1, 3, 4, 6, 6. I can take one of each, which is great, or I can take 2 6s, which isn't so great for me right now. My opponent is going to get, no matter what, a 2, a 5, a 2 and a 5. That's it, because of my roll. So I'm going to decide what I want to do. I'm going to take one of each. One of each number rolls. I get a 1, a 3, a 4. Now we get to see what happens, and a 6. My 4 I can put anywhere up here. So I'm going to go for, this is a nice one because of this, but the 3, 3, 3 is really hard there. I'm going to go for a little guy. Circle my 4. My opponent now gets, what was it, a 2 and a 5. So not Lothar is going to circle the 2 and circle the 5. Boom, we're done round 2. We keep going. Let's see. Just looking at where I'm at. I need a 1 and a 5. So with that in mind, maybe I'll go for a 3 just to give me some options. And not Lothar goes for a 1. I guess he wants that 2, let's say. So not Lothar goes first. Boom, rolls this. He can do anything but a 6. If you remember with a 1, you can do anything but the bottom one. Out of his options, the 2's probably a great idea, and he'll go compete over here for this little guy. I chose a 3. I roll my 3. 4, 4, 6. With a 3, you use all of them, but only one of duplicates. So I got the double 4s, which means not Lothar gets the 4. I get a 4 and a 6. Let's see what I got. My 4s are moving quick. I'm going to get to that thief soon enough. My 6 right there. Not Lothar gets a 4, which is helping him out. All right, next round. Oh, sorry. I did what I shouldn't have done, which is skip this. And while you might skip this as well, keep in mind it's important for the do not roll track. And it's also important for future tracks that add a little bit of stuff on the sides that you'll see down the line. The game does progress through the book a little bit, and this isn't the only way it's going to look. The gameplay is exactly the same. There's just a couple things added and a couple different changes up here and all. Okay, so here we go. Next round. I'm going to just show you how a 6 works. It's kind of a bad time to use it, but I'd like to show it to you while we're early in the video. So not Lothar goes for a 4. I did a 6. With the 4, let's see. Let's mark it down. Let's mark our 6. Not Lothar rolls. Let's see. 3, 4, 6. They can go for the 4, which is probably a good idea, and they'll probably want to go for a 6 to not give me double 6, but no matter what, if they give me a 6, I'm getting a threshold. So it's a choice. Do you want to, go for something good for you or go for something bad for me? But let's go good for not Lothar. 4, 6. Boom, with the 4, they get the threshold and a 6. Let's see, with the 4, they can go here, and it's a safe bet to race me to it. And if I get it first, they can migrate out of there to this one. So that's not a terrible idea, especially with where they are on the 1s, to try to steal this area from me. Now, if they steal it from me, I can migrate out to this one, but they're getting the points for this first, and so let's just do it. Boom. Okay. Now over here, the 3 and the 6 come my way. 3 doesn't do me any good, but the 6 does. I can put a 6 anywhere. I can compete over here against not Lothar, but because not Lothar is putting some threat on me here, I'm going to go for this 6 in case my 4 were to migrate over. All right, let's see what we can do now. Oh, I got the 6. Or I revealed a 6. I don't know if I just cheated there too because this was on a 4, but I revealed a 6. What a 6 does is do not roll, gain an adjustment, add it to the cross timeline track. So if I put it here, I have to use it before this runs out. If I don't use it before that, I sacrifice it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here, and I'm just going to put a little cross, which lets me know that I have an adjustment. And I can't use it until here, but I can use it within that whole group. So let's keep going. I really want to get some of these 4s, so I'm going to go for some flexibility with a 5. And not Lothar also went for a 5. Oh no, we have a tie. Nothing happens. You can use that to your advantage if you can predict what your opponent's doing. All right, so now I'm going to go for the 5 again. And Nodalthar might be, thinking I'm stubborn and still going for that 5, or they might want to just get off of it because they can't afford it. So they choose and they got a 5 again. Oh no, this rolling the die is striking me out. So I don't trust this person. I think they'll keep going for 5. So I'm going to go for the 3. 3 is flexible too. And Nodalthar goes for the 6. Going for an adjustment. Let's just say it's in here. Okay, so my 3. I roll the dice. Boom. 1, 2, 5. Awesome, because I need the 1s. Because I want to try to race up for this. 5s are good for me too. But I did not roll any doubles, which is, it's rare to not roll doubles on a 3. But when you do, it's great. It's awesome. And Nodalthar gets the adjustment. Okay, and I didn't mark that down. All right, next round. I want those 1s. A 4 is going to get me something awesome pretty soon. So let's just do this. I'll go for that. And then Nodalthar goes for the 3. A 1, boom, roll it. Anything but a 2. A 2 would actually been pretty good right now. But I'm going to go for the 4 because I'm working my way down. Boom, 4. If I put it here, this one migrating out is going to be useless. They're not making that much progress. They got a long way to go on the 5s. So I'm going to start working my way down here. Okay. Nodalthar has the 3. They roll. Darn, they got nice roll, no doubles. Their first 3, a 4, and a 6. All right. I might have been able to use my adjustment, and they might have been able to too, but I'm teaching and not paying enough attention. So next round, let's see about that. I'm going to go with the 5, and Nodalthar goes for the 4. Boom. Nodalthar, let's see. They can go for double 6s, which is pretty good for them. A 1 or a 5. They also have the adjustment and can go, put this into a 6 and things like that. And let's just go with the double 6s. Boom. So 6, 6. It gets them an adjustment right here. Look at that. They got 2 out of the 3. I get the 1 and the 5. No thresholds yet. So I had a 5. Make sure I have that. My 5. Let's see what I get. Awesome roll, because not that many, or more unique numbers is great. Unless I wanted a whole bunch of doubles or whatever. But it's good for them not getting much. I have 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. I can go for the double 4s, but it's not going to help me yet to get that double. But because I have an adjustment, I'm going to adjust this to a 4. So I used my adjustment. So just cross it out as used. 4, 4, 4. Now that changes what they get because they're going to get more digits now. But I'm going to use the 3 of a kind. So I'm going to go 4, 4, 4, which gives me a threshold and a character. So I'm going to do all this before they get their. So the thief, circle any number. I'm going to put my initials GT that your opponent already circled. So I look at theirs. They have the same 4 as me. They have the 2 and the 6. I'm going to go for this 2 because I can bring it over here if I really need to. So boom, that gave me a free number there. I also have a 4 here, which I can circle. And my 4s are good on this side. I'm going to just go for this one, try to get ahead, even though I was hoping that one would come over. So that worked out pretty well for me, and I got the thief, which is a point. So my opponent now gets, I have 1, 2, they get the 3, the 5, and the 6. This could hurt me. The 3, the 5, and the 6. So yeah, so they get the 6 out of this. Where are they going to put their 6? They're going to go right here and try to get this bridge. Okay, so if the game were to keep going now, or if the game were to end right now, for example, I have 1 point because I have the thief. Oh, they should cross out the thief because they cannot get them. I have 1 point because I have the thief. I don't hold anything yet. The cat's walking across the table, so that's why it's shaking. My opponent has 0 points. If we're to end right now, it would be 1-0. But as we go, we're going to circle more of these. We're going to get some points. And I can skip to the end of the game and just show you what it would be like. But I just kind of be making up some numbers right now, so it's kind of hard. So what I'll do is, I guess, keep playing. You've made it this far, so let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just go quicker, though. So I choose 5 because I want a whole bunch of stuff. Ulthar rolls a 6. Oh, they're going for another adjustment. They'll put it down here. So my 5. 1, 3, 3, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, 6. That's not bad. I'll go for it. 1, 3. Oh, that is good. Oh, no, that's a 4. Whoops. 3, 5, 6. I got the 1 and the 5. I'm going to mark them off up here. 1 and the 5. Look at that. 1 and the 5. JT. Boom. Not Ulthar does not get that one. So now I'm up to 2 points. Awesome round. Not Ulthar gets a 2 and a 4. I didn't even look because I was so excited. And they get 2 of these. So that's not good. 2 and a 4. What's going to be good for them? You can get 2 out of here. They can get something over here. It doesn't help them there. Oh, sorry. I forgot. This one was crossed out. Not Ulthar gets to migrate, and they get to move their 4 over to anything adjacent. I skipped that. So they get a 2 and a 4. Looking at what they have, let's just say they're going for the bridges here. They'll go for the 2, and maybe they'll go over here with the 4. Okay. And they have their adjustments still, which was a 6 and a 5. I used my adjustment. They have one that they can use this round, so I'm going for, I want that other 6 right now to get that, and I want a 5. So to get a 5 and a 6, I'm going to try with the 3. Not Ulthar goes for a 2. Okay, boom. They get a 1 and a 3. They got to use their adjustment now. They have to. So they can change it to a 1 and a 2, or a 2 and a 3, or a 6. This can go both ways. So they're going to change it to a 6 and a 3. That's going to give them something here. It's going to give them something here. So 6, they put it on the board. Let's see where it goes. Let's get their 6 right here. So for me, I rolled a 3. Or I chose a 3. 3, 4, 5. Sweet. No duplicates. 3, 4, 5. 3 goes on the board. 4 and 5 goes on the board. I got a 3 and a 5 to place. I can go 3 right there, 5 right there. That's not so bad. I can go 3 right there. I'm going to go 3 right here because this is a little hot area. And 5 right there. All right, next round. I'm going right for the 6 because I want some flexibility and hope that Ulthar gives me some dice. Oh, 2 6s. Guess what? Nothing happens. Boom. I need that 6. I'm going for it again. Let's see what Ulthar does. 1. Okay. Or not Ulthar. Yeah, remember, he's not Ulthar. So not Ulthar has anything but a 2. Let's see. Anything but a 2. 3 or 6 is going to get an instant. Let's go with the 3. Boom. 3. Not Ulthar. I get to migrate something out of here when I lose it. I'm going to take, let's see. I'm going to get a 2 soon. I'm not going to get a 3 so soon, so I'm going to move my 3 right there. With my 6, I mark it on the board. I'm going to mark it right here. What was this one? A 1? Okay. So it's marked on the board. Let's see what's next. I got my 6 marked on the board. All I need is, I need a 1 and a 2 here. 1's going to be really hard to get. Let's go for the 5, and I can adjust. Not Ulthar goes for a 5 as well. What a jerk. I'm going for a 5 again. Not Ulthar goes for the 5 again. Wow. I can't believe this guy. I'm pushing it. I'm going for the 5 again. Not Ulthar goes for the 1. Okay, so now I can use my adjustment. after I roll. But not Althar. Anything but a 3. Let's go for the 6. Get some instant. Right there. Okay. So I had a 5. I'm going to roll all the dice, and I'm going to adjust something. And look at that. I got some major 1s. I might as well use my adjustment to make this one also, this 2 into a 1, and take 4 1s, which is really good. 1, 2, gets me on the board, gets me the monk. 3, 4 gets me on the board again. So, cross out the monk for not Althar. I get 2 1s. I'm going to go for this one for sure. And, oh, I could have went for those 2. Whatever, I need that one. And I'm going to go for this one. Now, not Althar gets everything not rolled. So a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 6. That's the danger of going for all that, but it helped me out. So 2, 3, a 4, and a 6. Nothing pushed anything over the edge. Cross out my adjustment because I used it. All right, next round. Those 5s are good, but you give up a lot. Let's see. I want to get... It's funny that I'm winning. Because I'm playing myself, but let's see. I'm going to go for... I want that 2. I want that 2 desperately. I'm going to just go for a 1, and I get to get it first. Let's see. Oh, I don't, because this guy likes to copy me. I'm going for the 1 again, because I'm stubborn, and I do this every time if you play against me. Not Althar goes for the 5. Okay, 1. Anything but a 3, or anything but a 3. I'm taking the 2. I'm taking my 2, put my initials. Boom! You don't get that. Not Althar rolls the 5. Interesting roll with no adjustments. I don't think I used the adjustment. 5, 5, 6, 6, 1. So you can take a 1, 5, 6. 6s are doing pretty good. Or take double 6s, which isn't going to help because you have that where you need to get double 6s next turn. 1, 5, 6, or the double 5s, which sort of helps. Hey, get out of here. What are you doing? Double 5s will help get... Let's go with the double 5s. 5, 5, 5. For me, I get a 2, 3, 4. All right, get out of here. 2. Oh, that helped out. 3, 4. Oh, that helped out too. I get a 2 and a 4 on the board. Let's go with the 2. And I might as well just take this 4 over here. All right, next round. I'm going for a 3. Not Althar goes for the 3. This is crazy amount of copying over here. I'm going to change my tune and go for the 4. Boom, 5. Okay. This would kind of be a decent solo mode. It's just you play against Bozo rolling the dice over here. 4, because I am enjoying this, even though I'm destroying not Althar. With my 4, I get to roll first. Oh, I get 5s or 6s. That's pretty interesting. Or a 5 and a 6, which is not as interesting. I don't want to... Oh, I can... This is pretty cool. We haven't seen this yet. So if I go for 5s, what happens is not Althar gets 6s and can only use 1 of them. And if not Althar was here and I gave him a 6, he couldn't use any of them because you need 2 6s to fill in any of this double round. But what's important to me, I'm going to actually go for the 6s. Not Althar's getting the 5s, so I go for my 6s. 1 threshold, 2 threshold. I got double 6 threshold in that turn. 6, got that. I'm playing so much better than this non-opponent. And I don't have that. I'm getting too excited here. But not Althar crosses this out, migrates the 5 down to here. So it helps them out a little bit. They got double fives. Boom, boom. They can put a 5 on the board. Let's go over here because we're working on that. That was my 4. They roll their 5. 2s, double 6s again, which does not help them. They can take 1. 2s are pretty good. No, they can only take 1 of them. So they're going to go for this. 2, 4, 6. 2, threshold. 4, nothing. They need both. 6, bam. So they're in an area where they need an adjustment. They need a big roll. They need something like that to get past these doubles that will start to hang you up. So because they get the 2s, they can put the 2 on the board. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right there. For me, I get the 1, 3, and 5. 1, bam, awesome. 3, bam, awesome. 5. So the downside to playing this is I'm not looking when playing not Ulthar at what I'm giving up over here and having that factor in my decision. But I got a 1 and a 3. So I need a 5. That's not going to help me yet. 1 and a 3. I can kind of race for this area. I'm going to go with the 1 right here. This is such a hard area to get. 3. Boom. Okay, done. I'm going for an adjustment for the next round, and not Ulthar is going for a 1. 6. I'll put my adjustment right there, even though I shouldn't do that yet, because not Ulthar goes first. Anything but a 1. They're going to go for a 3, which is good. Bam. Almost done there. Okay, for my 6, I put my adjustment down. All right, we're in the last 5 years or 5 days or whatever of this king's life. So, what am I going to do here? I want more points. I want more points on these. I'm not close to much. I have an adjustment. I'm going to, 2s, he's going to beat me to. I might be able to make it to the 3s. All right, so I'm going for a 5. Not Ulthar's going for a 4. 4, 5. Let's see. 4 goes first. 5, 5, 5, 5 is going to help them. 6 doesn't. 2 doesn't. They don't have an adjustment, so they're going to go for their 5, 5. Gets a 5 on the board. Doesn't help them much. Bam. Does get them closer to here, though. I get a 2 and a 6. 2. 6 helps me. Yay. Circle that 6 right there. Okay. And I have a 5 with an adjustment. So this can really help me right now. Let's see if it can, though. 3s. I can't adjust. 2, I can make one of them that's sort of helpful. 1s are actually pretty good right now because it's going to get me that. I'm going to go for the 2 1s. 1, 1, and I got that. JT. Bam. They can move a 6. They're going to move it right there. Okay. Not Ulthar gets a 2, 4. That's it. Just a 2 and a 4. 2 doesn't help him. 4 doesn't help him. That's perfect. If I was paying enough attention, I would have did that on purpose too. Okay. Next turn. I'm going to... so close here. I can go for those 2s. Choice with adjustment might be good with a 4. All right, he's going for that 1. He loves that 1. Here we go. You got a 1. Bam. 1, and I got a 4. So with my 4, I can adjust this down to a 3, and I can have double 3s, which isn't going to get me anything right now, but it gets me closer to that. Double 3s is good, or double 4s, which isn't going to help me now. I'm just going to adjust to the 3s. Boom. I'm taking the 2 3s. 3, 3. I really need an adjustment for here, and I've already used an adjustment in that round. So, in this grouping, so I can't use another. Double 3s, bam. I put my 3 up on the board. Let's go in here. They get a 1 and a 6. 1 helps them, 6 doesn't. They can circle 1. Oh no! Not Ulthar gets it. I cross this out. I move a 3 or a 4. Looking at where I'm at, I need to move a 4. but I can't even get that one, so I'm done there anyway. I'm just going for these guys. All right. So not Ulthar got their little guy. Let's see. Did I mark in their 6? Oh, they don't get a 6. Okay, next round. Let's see what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for the 5. Late game like this, not Ulthar is probably going to want a 5-2, but I've got this lead going. 2. They're going to roll 2 dice. They get a 1 and a 2. Boom, they're stuck. They're in trouble. They need an adjustment. It's a little late. I'm going to roll my 5. 1-1, not that good for me. 3-3 is amazing for me. I'm going for it. 3-3, look at that. I got the double wide. 3-3, I also get the scholar. Change an unearned number in any location for you only, which means this 4 that was a problem for me is gonna now be a 2. Look at that. It's still a 4 for them. So that's what I get. I got my 2 1s or my 2 3s. I got my little guy, and not Ulthar gets 2, 4, and 5. Doesn't help. Doesn't help. Doesn't help. I should be playing smarter over here for not Ulthar. Sorry, dude. Okay. Second to last round. Not Ulthar's going for the 6. Just to give them the adjustment. And I am going for... I'm in a really good spot right now. I need that 3, the 2, the 3. I can't even get that many 3s. I'm just going to go for 2. I'm just going to roll 2 dice. I don't want to give up anything. Okay, so boom. 6 and the 2. So I roll 2 dice. I don't give up anything. 4 and a 6 doesn't help me. Bam. They get their 6, so they get their last adjustment. Okay, last round. I'm going to go for the 5 because I think that's what not Ulthar is going for. But not Ulthar goes for the 5. Oh, they don't get to use their last adjustment because I was a jerk and rolled them a 5. So boom, endgame scoring. Let's see what we got. 1 victory point per location held. So I've got this one, I've got that one, got that one, got that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 victory point per bridge held if holding both sides. I never got that 5 there, which would have been great to go for because I would have had that extra point. So nothing. So I get 0 there. 1 victory point per major supporter. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 points there. My total is 7. Let's check it. Oh, not Ulthar. He didn't do so well. Per location held, 1 victory point. 2. No bridges held, 0. No major supporters because he was not playing smart. 0. Final score is 2. Usually they're a bit closer than that, and if they're super close and they tie, the player with the least adjustments would win. In this case, we're actually tied on adjustments. So that's it. That's the game. I won. The king has died, and Ulthar took over. So what happens here is you're going to go into your book, mark everything down, which character won, and the second age would come into play. And just to give you an idea of the second age, a little sneak peek, there's a castle that forms. There's a track that presents itself right here. And there's a new character, and I believe... I'm trying to remember which one it replaces. It might replace the farmer, and it's a builder. So what happens here is, depending on who won, Ulthar is a bad king if he takes over. So if Ulthar takes over, this castle is forcing out all the people in the lands, and it's protecting just the wealthy only. So there's a ring around this castle, and you're going to try to knock it down and break down the castle walls. The way you do that is the player with the most of a single number in this region marks their number in scores the region. So if I were to have 3 of the same number here, and you had 2, I would gain this region. So I would put my initials in there. I'm playing on the wrong one now. And that means, boom, I cross out one of these. And we do that each time, and whoever does the most damage on the castle gets extra points. And everything else plays the same. There's an extra way to get points, and there's an extra ability here. And if the other character won, this is different. You're trying to build the castle up. Similar path and way that things work, but you're trying to build that castle up. All of that impacts the game after it, and then the game after that as well, depending on how things went. So you start out with kind of A and B, and then you split off into 2 different versions. It kind of spirals from there. And there's 4 ages. So you would play through this one, you would play through the next, and the next, and then you've kind of played a whole campaign. And then what you would do is start over at the first game, which we just played here, and see where it takes you. You do that in the book, 2 players, a whole bunch of times. There's, I think, 48 games total, so that's it. That's how you play Blood Royals.